Hey, Steve. Who else we got on? Dawn, Council Chamber, the mayor, Jake. Okay. As usual, I'm almost the last one on.
Well, let's see who is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Karen's here. Okay. Looks like we're all here. So we'll call to order the regular meeting of the West Valley City Council. We note that all council members are in attendance. We'll begin with inside the police department video, and we'll go from there.
Of what we do and how we do it and why.
The West Valley City Police Citizens Academy is a multi-week program designed to give participants a real working knowledge of the police department.
I really like it. This is my first time interacting with them, so I would recommend people doing this course.
Those who've attended the Citizens Academy say they've enjoyed the ride.
It was awesome. I loved it. It was great.
We put you through scenarios so you get kind of a first-hand experience, from driving to being bit by a canine to anything you've ever wanted to know.
It's definitely fun.
Oh my gosh.
But the Citizens Academy also helps provide attendees with critical answers to some of the most important questions.
Throughout the weeks, we have different elements of the department, from forensics and evidence to detectives to undercover units, canine officers. Every aspect of the department will come in and they'll spend an evening with you and discuss some of the questions that people have,
including questions about training, tactics, and how the West Valley City Police Department works to ensure fairness and justice for all members of the community.
It's a great forum where we'll spend hours just one-on-one with you, answering all of your questions.
The Citizens Academy is offered twice each year, typically in the spring and then again in the fall. And it's free. The only investment is your time. Time that those who've attended the Academy say was time well spent.
Very awesome. It's an experience that people should go through.
I'll do it again.
Thank you very much. And now we go to our minutes of September 8th. Motion on the minutes.
I move for approval of those minutes, Mayor.
And if we get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Hearing no more comments, then without objection, we will consider the minutes approved. Hearing no objection, the minutes are approved, and it's a unanimous vote. Let's see, next is our comment period. And Nicole, I believe we probably have at least one there.
We actually do have 3 people signed up for the general public comment tonight. And then we may have some for the public hearings as well.
Okay.
The first person is Jim Visock. Jim, you're good to go.
Thank you. Yeah, Mary, you knew I would be here, even if I was just going to say hello. So anyways, I was going to keep it short and sweet, but I've got a little bit more to talk about tonight. The park Wi-Fi thing, I think, is a great thing that we need to get out. I just presumed every time I was around the public building that you guys are all part of Xfinity On Demand. I didn't realize it was West Valley Wi-Fi that I kept connecting to. And it would give another option to parents, grandparents, uncles, and aunts that are out there taking care of their niece, nephews, and grandkids and stuff. Instead of being stuck in a basement, in a living room or something like that, let them know they can go out there, a little bit of incentives. Okay, do some work, and then, you know, you can play. You know, it's a great thing. I think our PR department could have a great time, you know, putting out stuff like this. And I've already posted on a few social media things already about it, and people didn't know. And so, but keep going with that. That is really, really good. It's a great image for West Valley City, and I would love to see the press pick up something like that, like Fox News, CBS, because every time something bad happens in West Valley, it's splattered all over. This is a great thing. And so, and then the Citizens Academy. I have done the Citizens Academy. I've actually done all of them in the surrounding area, Salt Lake County, Salt Lake City, West Jordan. And ours has a unique thing. The hands-on contact, the shooting, the driving of the cars was so much fun. Going through the actual obstacle course, it is a great thing to do. And it is very, very fun, and you do learn a lot. So kudos to that. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you very much. Next. Who's next?
Sorry, just one second. The next person we have is Jason Lovato.
Okay.
Jason, you should be able to unmute your microphone now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So Mike, my minutes I'd like to spend talking about some things that I've been hearing in the towing rotation for the police department. Kendall Brown, who is a longtime tower for West Valley City, told me that it would be a big mistake for me to get in such of a lease with a property owner right now, because he heard that the West Valley City Police Department was going to reduce the amount of companies on the police rotation to 15 companies. I talked to someone at the police department, and he said that that was true. It was in the city's attorney's, it was sitting on the city attorney's desk waiting for approval. He couldn't give me much more insight than that, nor any data or data supporting where the idea came from. Basically, he was telling me that it is something that they're pushing for, basically because he said that he has other jobs to do rather than, you know, patrol or manage the police rotation, like accidents and, you know, police related stuff. He advised me that they couldn't proactively do their job because he does more than just the towing rotation. He had told me that it takes too much of their time to manage all of the towing companies. And I asked him, well, what kind of problems are you having? And where is the data supporting the problems that you're having? And what is happening to the towing companies that you're having problems with? Are you kicking them off? Are you suspending them? Are you, you know, taking them off the rotation? Or what is the process here and what is going on? And he couldn't answer any of those questions. Murray City has went to 15 companies through a lottery system. And, you know, the question that I raised to the chief of police at Murray, I said, well, don't you have to go through all the packets and make sure that they have all the qualifications anyway? So where is it costing where is it costing too much time for an officer to go through to allow all of these companies be on the rotation? And he couldn't answer that question. And I think that Murray City has since then been backpedaling, and we're working with them to get it open to all companies that are qualified to tow for the police rotation. I just want the city council to know that, you know, properties are hard to come by. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars developing them. And, you know, some of us may own the property, we may just lease the property. But in order for me to do business in West Valley City as a property leasee or owner, I need to be able to make some money there. And the police rotation is a great way for me to make money. My overhead is just as expensive as everybody else's out in the towing industry. And I believe that I should have an equal slice of the pie, just like everyone else in the industry. If I am qualified and I have the insurance and the qualifications, the RecMaster certification, good maintained tow trucks, and we provide service within 20 minutes for light duty and 45 minutes for heavy duty, we should be able to have access to the towing rotation just as anyone else. And there's just a lot of questions that I believe are not being asked. And there's not a lot of information. I mean, all of this is kind of hearsay, and it's kind of something that I have just heard. So I'm trying to get clarification on that from City Council. And if you can, I don't know, somehow let me know how that goes, then that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I do speak for everyone in the industry. I am part of the Utah Professional Towing Association. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Next.
The next person is Mervyn Arnold. Mr. Arnold, you should be able to unmute your microphone now.
We having any technical difficulties or just not responding?
It looks like we just need Mr. Arnold to unmute.
Well, it sounds like there are technical difficulties there. That's not clear at all. So all we hear are some noises. Nope.
Sounds
The
like we might have a
connection,
connection.
I don't know if that's him trying to speak or if that's just some noise on the line, but it is not any communication that we can understand.
Yeah, it looks like Mr. Arnold may have a communication problem. So I disabled that.
Okay. Why don't we, hopefully he can hear us. If he would try a different connection and see if we can get a clear connection, we'll try and get him on. We don't want to discourage anyone, but we do have to at least be able to understand it. So let's see if he tries again and gets a different connection. And council, because of technical difficulties, will allow him to speak. It's an item later in the agenda. It's not a public hearing, but we don't want to discourage anyone. And I don't think our agenda is that full anyway. So if he's able to get through and make a connection, then we'll bring him back on.
Mayor, I believed he logged out and logged back on. I'm not sure if it works now, but it does look like his microphone's unmuted.
Let's try him right now. Hello?
Still doesn't look like it.
We do allow people to email us and we can read those comments. So anyway, unless something changes, and you can check along the way, but for now, we'll move forward on our agenda. Okay. Then let's see. We go to our city manager. Since I think that was the last one on public comment, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So Mr. Pyle, any comments?
Thanks, Mayor. Nope, I don't have any comments tonight.
Council members, any comments? Hearing none. We'll move on to our next item on our agenda, our public hearing. And this is regarding application GPZ-4-2020 filed by Rockworth Companies to make some changes specifically to our general plan, change the overlay zone, Decker Lake Station overlay zone from manufacturing to multiple unit dwelling residential at 3036, 3078 South Decker Lake Drive. In conjunction with that, once we get that before us and have our public hearing, we'll consider ordinance 20-38 to amend the general plan, ordinance 20-39 to change the zoning, and resolution 20-147 for the development agreement. So let's see, this particular piece of property will be, is located there on Decker Lake Drive and 3100 South on the northwest corner. They'll be making some changes there. That's currently manufacturing, but that will be modified in conjunction with changes we made at locations near the track station to allow these types of things. It will be a high residential complex, apartments, parking, 2 levels of parking, and I think 6, is it 6? Gotta go here. I think 6 stories, or it's 7 maybe. That's right, it was 7, and there was one little piece that was a few inches over. So, but this will be a property there. In conjunction with that, access will be maintained over Rocky Mountain Power property. That's apparently worked out, and to the north. And so these are apartments right by the track station. That's probably enough just general comments on this. There'll be 219 apartments in a 7-story building. So with that introduction, then we will open a public hearing for this issue. And we'll check to see now if there is anyone online who would like to speak to this issue.
We do have a person, Adam Davis. Mr. Davis, you should be able to unmute your microphone.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Adam Davis. I represent the applicant, so Rockworth Development and our partners at 2EF, the historic owners of the land. We appreciate being here in front of the council tonight and you hearing this on behalf of the applicant. This has been a long time coming for us. We actually presented an application prior to the moratorium that was enacted last year, and we're actively involved with staff during the moratorium and after the amended ordinance was put in place to make sure that our development plan has been strategically tailored to meet the amended ordinance that was recently passed by the council. And the Decker Station apartments, our development does meet and in our estimation exceeds the newly adopted general requirements, the building material requirements, and the major and minor amenity requirements in this new ordinance. As was stated, we have 219 units. We're directly across the street from the Decker Lake Station tracks, from the Decker Lake track station. And as such, definitely fall within the half mile requirement. In addition, as I mentioned, the new ordinance requires 5 amenities, 3 major amenities and 2 minor amenities that are outlined in the ordinance. We're actually providing 13 amenities, 7 major, including a pool, a community room, a fitness room, rooftop patios, a game room, a business center, and a courtyard as the major amenities. And in addition, outdoor fire pits, a dog wash, a bike share and storage space, package lockers, electric vehicle charging, and an outdoor grill area. And just to give you a little bit of background about Rockworth Companies, we are long-term holders of real estate. We've developed a number of properties here in the Valley and in the Intermountain West, located here in Salt Lake City. And in our conversations with staff throughout this process, we understand that one of the very important issues that's actually included in our development agreement is our specific management requirements with regards to our properties. Having secured structure parking, having certain sizes for the units, and all of those things have been taken into account as we have designed and developed this property. One of the things that is outlined in our development agreement is that they're managed specifically in accordance with management standards that the city has provided. We're not only an owner of the real estate, but we also have a property management company. So we will manage all of the units ourselves, which we feel and we find makes our properties not only more efficient, but in terms of resident retention and having people live at our properties over a longer term is definitely key as we manage these properties. So as such, we hope that the council can fully support the project that meets and exceeds the requirements defined by the city in the latest ordinance. As was mentioned, we've worked with staff to not only have access provided across the Rocky Mountain Power parcel to the north, but also to provide an enhancement to that, so that parcel will be landscaped. We will maintain that landscape, and we feel that will just enhance that overall area within the Decker Lake area and the surrounding developments there, including the E-Gate apartments, including the hotels. So we're excited about this project, and we're excited to move forward under the new amended ordinance. We feel that, again, we've strategically tailored this project to meet and exceed the newly adopted requirements, and we hope that we can gain council's support tonight. I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone may have about the project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that was all that were speaking to this. Is that correct, Nicole?
We actually do have one other person, Jim Visop, would like to comment.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wasn't sure if raising the hand was going to do it, but I'm glad. I think this would be a great thing for this area. It fits in. Hopefully you guys are in support of it. We need the housing here in West Valley. So I just wanted to get my 2 cents on it, that I think this is a good spot and it would be great for West Valley City. That's all I have.
Thank you. So is that all now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we will close the public comment portion and come back to the council for any further discussion or motions.
Mayor, I would move to approve ordinance 20-38.
Do we have a second?
Second.
It's properly for us. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we will now turn to our city recorder for the required roll call vote.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
No.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes by majority.
Thank you. Still in the council's control at this point.
Move for approval of ordinance 20-39.
Second.
Properly before us. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll turn to our city recorder for the vote on this ordinance.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. To the
Mayor, I
council.
move for approval of resolution 20-147.
Second.
Okay, any further comment or discussion? Hearing none, to our city recorder.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We'll go on to our next public hearing. This is on application SA-2 2020 filed by Sandy Schwartz. This is final plat approval for the Parkway Business Park subdivision. This would be at 2480 South, 3850 West. In conjunction with that, we'll consider ordinance 20-40 for the approval of that amendment. This is a project that is just off Bangerter Highway. There are two buildings currently on this piece of property. This will put a property line between them to create two parcels instead of one, so that in the future, should the owners decide to sell one of those properties, it could be done separately. That is the item before us. To the council.
I would move for approval.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it's open. You're right.
Yeah.
It's this is open for public comment. I'm in too big a hurry. I apologize to council. So, Nicole, do we have anyone to speak to this issue?
No, sir.
Seeing there is no one here to speak to it, I will close the public portion and bring it back to the council. That's the right words.
I would move for approval of ordinance 20-40.
Second.
Hearing no further comments, we'll go to our city recorder.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. With that, then we go to our item 8, our resolution 20-148. This is an agreement with the University of Utah Neuropsychiatric Institute for the full-time services of a mental health professional. This is something we've been doing for the last 2 years. This supports efforts when the police department gets an emergency call or calls from individuals who need professional assistance, whether it be to be referred to proper services or for helping those who have issues that will not be served by simply sending them to jail. It's been a successful program, and so that is the issue before us. We set aside, I think, $248,000 plus towards that effort. With that, then, to the council.
Mayor, I move for approval of resolution 20-148.
Second.
Properly before us, hearing no further comments, to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right. And just to check, since I believe the applicant was on the line, he's not tried back again.
It does look like he is back. I can try to unmute him again. One moment.
With the council's approval, we'll allow him to speak, hopefully.
All right, Mr. Arnold, you should be able to unmute your microphone.
Does he have his microphone unmuted?
It does not look like it.
It looks like it's not going to work then. I don't suppose anyone else heard anything. Okay. Well, if Mr. Arnold can hear us, we appreciate his effort.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yeah, finally you're there. All you
I've
had to
been
do was
I've
speak
been
up.
trying the whole meeting to get there. I'm sorry. But we finally got it to work, and I just wanted to, my purpose for speaking was simply to thank your staff. Honestly, it's been a very wonderful experience for me to work through with your staff and the Planning Commission. And I think you're all aware of the situation. You know, my brother Bob died when he was 58, and this is my sister-in-law, Gwenda, who's trying to subdivide a little piece behind her house there because she just can't handle it anymore. And I appreciate your support. I guess you've already voted on it or whatever. I'm sorry I didn't speak sooner, but there were just a lot of really good people that tried to help me through this process. And sometimes
Well, I think
all
we-
you do is hear a bunch of yelling and screaming.
Okay, we're losing you.
I've been in your chair a few times.
And
I wanted to be very positive.
Oh,
Very
okay.
positive, and thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, you just broke up for a
I
couple
wanted
minutes
just to say
there.
thank you. And thanks to Steve Lehman. Oh, okay, can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Oh,
but you may
okay.
kind of comes and goes. And I think it just went.
Comes and goes.
Oh.
Well, that's the way these things work that way sometimes. But can you hear me now?
Yes, very well, actually.
Okay. I'm going to make this really short. Thank you. Thanks to Steve Lehman. Thanks to the Planning Commission, and thanks to all of you for taking care of an issue for my brother who passed away a long time ago, and for my sister-in-law. I appreciate it. I just wanted to say that.
Well, Merv Arnold, thank you, and it's good to hear your voice. I haven't talked with you for quite a few years now. So
Well, I'm
appreciate
so happy to see all of you that are on the council, and congratulations, Mayor. I really appreciate your leadership.
Okay, thank you. Mayorship.
All right.
Okay,
Goodbye, y'all.
thank you.
Mayor,
Yes,
Mayor, before we open this item, I need to disclose that Mr. Arnold and I are long-term friends. And so that does color my vote a little bit if you still want to take it.
it's allowed for each council member to make that decision if they want to recuse themselves and abstain from voting. Mr. Arnold, I met a number of years ago. I haven't seen him now for many years, but we happen to work in the same building. In fact, in the same floor, same department, but I only rarely interacted with him.
He and my wife grew up together, so we've been friends for
Yeah.
over 50 years.
Yeah, I can't claim that. So with that, I did not officially introduce this. We have not voted on it, but it is a simple taking a piece of property and creating two pieces, 2 lots on 1 acre of property, and they meet all the requirements. It will be a flag lot, meaning access down a fairly long driveway, but it meets all our requirements. So with that introduction then to the council.
I move for approval of application SMI 6-2020.
Second.
Properly before us, hearing no further comments, we'll turn to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman
And
Fitzie-Umanu.
excuse me, Nicole, before you begin, just one more comment, Councilman Christensen. Once you have disclosed the conflict publicly, then yes, you can vote. You can still abstain, but you can vote once you have disclosed it. Okay.
Understood.
Sorry. Nicole, go ahead. Sorry.
Councilman Fitzie-Umanu.
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang.
Yes.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Hune.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt.
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
By the way, aye and yes mean the same thing. So Councilwoman Lang, even though you said both, we'll still just count it as one, so. Well, we do not have a need for a closed session. That completes our business for this particular meeting of the City Council, our regular meeting. And we don't have any meetings following this. So any final comments from the council? Hearing none, then the final motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Without objection, we will adjourn. Hearing no objections, we are adjourned with no dissenting votes, so it's unanimous. Thank you all, and have a good week.
Thank you
Thank
all,
you.
especially you IT people.
Good night, Mayor. And yeah, thanks to the staff guys. Night, everybody.
Yeah.